Cartoonish.
Magical tale of Lake Saif-Ul-Malook and Aliyaan's dream. One cozy evening, a loving father sits with his three children, Aliyaan, Rayyan, and his daughter Ayeza. The room is warm.
The father said, "Today I am going to tell you a magical tale of the Valley of Naran and the legendary Lake Saif-Ul-Malook."
Starts clapping. His words paint vivid pictures, snow-capped mountains, sparkling waters, and the mysteries hidden beneath the lake.
Prince Saif-Ul-Malook dreams of a breathtaking lake he has never seen before. In the lake, 7 graceful fairies. Among them, one fairy named Badar stands out. The prince standing with them and watches in awe. He told his father, the king, about the entire dream. The king replied, "Oh, leave it. It is just a dream, because fairies are made of fire, and we are humans." Prince Saif left everything behind to find Badar-ul-Jamal. After 6 long years of searching, wanders through whole Egypt and vast desert landscape. At the edge of the desert, under the shade of a single ancient olive tree, sits a wise old holy man. As Saif approaches, the old man lifts his head with a knowing smile and says, "Ah, there you are. I've been waiting for you, Prince Saif." The holy man presents Saif with a shimmering Suleimani cap. The moment Saif puts it on, his surroundings transform in a flash of light. Suddenly, he finds himself standing before the breathtaking Lake Saif-Ul-Malook, Naran Valley. Snowy peaks reflected in emerald waters. Saif's face glows with joy and hope as he exclaims, "I shall find her here. My suffering is finally over." Saif saw a jinn of Suleimani cap. "You will not be able to see the fairy queen Badar-Jamal. She is, like us, born of fire. You may pray. For 40 consecutive days you will become able to see the fairy Badar-Jamal." He did the same. Days are passing by, mornings, evenings, and nights, things getting harder. It was the 14th night of a full moon. Suddenly, a sound reached his ears. The 7 fairies arrive at the lake. The fairies flew over the lake and dive down the lake every full moon, and their queen was Badar-ul-Jamal. Prince Saif summons the jinn of the cap.
"Yes, my master. Your command."
"How do I stop her from leaving?" Jinn replies, "Do not worry, master. Leave it to me. I'll handle it." At that moment, Badar-Jamal rises gracefully from the emerald green waters of the lake, her gown sparkling. She looks around in sudden worry, asking, "Has anyone seen my wings? Zrenya, my wings are gone. How will I fly back to Kokov, fairyland?" Meanwhile, the other fairies vanishing into the starry sky, leaving Badar-Jamal behind. Badar-Jamal stands alone. Suddenly, she hears a sound and looks up with a gasp. Before her stands Prince Saif, his royal robe glowing softly in the moonlight, his face full of awe. Their eyes meet, her wide, beautiful eyes shining with both wonder and disbelief. She whispers, "Who are you?" Prince Saif says, "Let me explain." His dreams and his suffering pours out in an emotional rush. Badar-Jamal overwhelmed. "We can finally be together." She says, "No, I can't stay here. I must go. I love you, Prince Saif, but I must go. Please return me my wings. I will try to come back. He'll kill us both." "My master, Jinn Deo Safai," Prince Saif said with courage. "Let him come. I am not afraid of him." The two flee together, running down the valley of Naran. That night, they find shelter in an ancient graveyard. Jinn Deo Safai storms out of his palace. "Where is Badar-ul-Jamal?" The terrified fairy said, "Master, she has vanished, maybe drowned into water." Jinn Deo Safai emerges into the icy Himalayas, his colossal figure towering over jagged peaks. At the shimmering Lake Saif-Ul-Malook, he roars, "Badar, Badar!" his voice shaking the mountains. He changes into his real form and roars. With his rage, the spirit of the lake is unleashed. Enormous waves crash violently, spilling down into the Naran Valley. First great flood of Naran Valley. Inside a shadowy cave high above the raging waters, Saif stands tall, his hand resting on the magical Suleimani cap at his feet, glowing faintly with otherworldly power. Both were dry and fragile as leaves, safe in the cave for the moment, but haunted by the question, what will become of Deo Safai? In the vast, windswept plateau of Deosai, the land of the giants, an ancient legend reaches its end. Behind him lies the shimmering Ansu Lake, Teardrop Lake, glistening in the shape of a tear, born of his endless grief for Badr-ul-Jamal. At last, Deo Safai surrendering his will to live. The land itself seems to mourn, flowers bending, winds whispering as the giant dies. Prince Saif returned to his homeland Egypt with Badr-ul-Jamal and get busy in his duties of state. Badr-ul-Jamal found her life in the palace so boring. Her aunt and cousins came to visit to see Badar-Jamal. They requested to see real fairy. She became what she really was. "Now, you all have seen me in my true form. You people do not deserve me, nor Prince Saif. You judged me for my beauty." She begins to transform into a dove. Badr-Jamal transformed into a white dove. Prince Saif rushes back. She turns her delicate head towards him. "The only way to convince me of your love is if you follow me to fairyland, my homeland. Seek me out in my father's castle among my own kind, and I promise I will return with you as your wife, never leaving your side as long as you live." Before Saif can respond, the dove bursts into flight, vanishing into the glowing horizon. Prince Saif sets out on his epic journey to Sao Fairyland, his eyes fixed on the distant old fairy meadows. Saif, in his hurry, forgets his magical Suleimani cap. Along the way, he meets a mysterious old man, explaining that fairyland has no physical existence. You will not find it on any map. As a gesture of guidance, the old man hands Saif a woolen cloak and a short wooden staff, a lone prince, a mystical guide, and a journey into an impossible magical realm. Prince Saif stands alone in the middle of a vast emerald meadow, dwarfed by the towering ice-covered peaks of Ut Nanga Parbat, and the only sound is the soft whisper of the evening breeze rustling through tall pines. He wore woolen cloak over his shoulders, calling the old man's words. Once you wear this cloak, everything made by human hands will vanish, and the hidden realm of jinns, fairies, and supernatural creatures will reveal itself. You will also become invisible to all. As Saif completes the transformation, the meadow seems to shimmer and shift. Fairy King's majestic castle in fairyland, floating towers, sparkling spires, and glowing bridges suspended over ethereal waterfalls. Deep within the dungeons of the Fairy King's castle in fairyland, Badar-ul-Jamal is locked in a tiny, dimly lit cell, her wrists bound by glowing magical chains. She senses Prince Saif approaching, and she whispers, "He's here." She calls out desperately, "Father, it's me, Badar." The Fairy King, "You are not my daughter. I smell the scent of a human." The Fairy King, towering and incredulous, replies, "Impossible. There is no way a magicless human could find the portal to fairyland." At that precise moment, Prince Saif taps the chains binding Badar-Jamal with his magical staff. Sparks of radiant light fly as the chains shatter. Saif removes his invisibility cloak, stepping into view. Badar-Jamal, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." Prince Saif, addressing majestic king with humility and courage, "Sir, I have made the long and perilous journey to your fair land to ask for the hand of your beauteous daughter in marriage." The Fairy King smiles and grants his blessings. Prepare for a magical, rambunctious fairy wedding ceremony. The king presents Saif with lavish gifts, jewels, enchanted artifacts, and a magnificent winged horse, capable of soaring at the speed of a falcon. Years have passed in a kingdom now ruled by King Saif, who sits proudly on his throne beside Dutao, Queen Badar-Jamal. Their 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. The palace glows with warm, familial light, filled with laughter and the peaceful hum of daily life. Suddenly, tragedy strikes. Prince Saif falls in battle against the enemy, leaving the kingdom in mourning. Badar-Jamal left everything behind, and Misa flies back to fairyland. 100 years among her own people, surrounded by fairies and spirits, carrying memories of love, loss, and adventure. Badar-Jamal floats gracefully on her back in the dark, velvety waters of a serene lake surrounded by the soft whispers of night. A burst of blue fire erupts from her, glowing like magical flames that spiral into the sky, reunited with her beloved Saif. Aliyaan drifts into slumber, soft echo of his father's voice fading as he slips into a dream. Father switched off the light and left the room. He finds himself standing inside a golden palace beneath the shimmering waters of Lake Saif-Ul-Malook with his brother and sister. The grand halls sparkle with jeweled walls and golden chandeliers, and the water around glows with a magical, ethereal light. Prince Saif-Ul-Malook appears with his radiant queen, their smiles warm and welcoming. They gesture gracefully toward Aliyaan, Ayeza, and Rayyan. The king orders his men to show them the underwater life of Lake Saif-Ul-Malook. Beneath Lake Saif-Ul-Malook, radiant coral houses glow in a spectrum of colors, while fountains of sparkling bubbles rise toward the surface. Majestic seahorses. Tables are laden with delicious feasts. Shimmering gems line the streets like twinkling stars, reflecting soft light across the streets, creating a harmonious, dreamlike atmosphere. The vibrant underwater realm suddenly quakes as a monster, Jin Deo Safaid, rises, sending shockwaves through the water that toss coral houses and glowing gems aside, and the streets erupt in chaos. Ayeza, Aliyaan, and Rayyan reign in panic and shouting, asking for help. Suddenly, Ayeza and Rayyan vanished. Aliyaan was running alone. He stopped and looked back, frozen, as the colossal monster locks its glowing eyes onto him. Aliyaan jolts, awake in his cozy bedroom, and his chest rises and falls as he takes a deep, relieved breath, the echo of his underwater adventure fading into memory. He glances at his brother and sister sleeping peacefully. A faint, grateful smile crosses Aliyaan's lips, of returning from a magical yet terrifying dream, the morning light spilling softly across the room. He wakes up and, Rain with blurry eyes, hugs his father tightly. He thanks Almighty Allah that it was just a dream.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell below.